Stop 1. Arrivals, Victoria Park. A natural place to begin our tour is here at the entrance to Victoria Park at the foot of Gaukel Street, across the street from the bus terminal. Since its opening in 1896, Victoria Park has been a centerpiece of Kitchener's cultural life. The entrance is now home to artist Ernest Daetwyler's The Luggage Project, a tribute to all those who have arrived in Kitchener and made it their home. Only a block away, on your right, stood the McBrine Luggage factory. From 1905 to the 1960s, it employed thousands of people and was one of the world's largest manufacturers of luggage. Here on summer Sundays, the complexity and diversity of the city is played out on the green behind the clock tower, where cricket, soccer, and hockey matches coexist and players move from one to the other. In the playgrounds and picnic areas, languages from around the world intertwine, giving way to English when common ground is needed. The clock tower once sat atop the Kitchener City Hall at the corner of King and Frederick Streets, but when the building was demolished to make way for a shopping complex in the 1970s, the tower was carefully dismantled, each piece numbered, and stored away, awaiting a new beginning, and it was reconstructed in 1995 here in Victoria Park. At this stop, you'll meet the everyday people whose stories offer a personal window into the city's past industrial life, their lives unfolding as if in a grand novel. Marian Nuxel, the young Romanian immigrant woman.
1938, I want to see Canada. My parents were living here. I was going at 17. Well, I was going to come here too for 10 years and go home and buy myself 10 acres of land. Then I'd get a richer man, but it didn't happen.
Robert Cruikshank, the union leader.
I saw an ad in the paper for Electron was looking for technicians, and Qantas was looking for technicians, and I got the job with both of them, so I had to decide where did I want to go. Canada or Australia? I reckon it's easier to get back from Canada if things didn't work out.
Orville Thacker, the community activist.
Well, I was born in Kincardine, Ontario in 1932. Went to school there and worked on the farm until 1948, when I tried out Toronto for a short while and then moved to Kitchener in 1949.
Richard LaHaye, the singer.
Yeah, I found out my brother Dennis was living in Kitchener. My mother told me, and came down and stayed with him where he was boarding in a rooming house. And he says, go down to Smiles and Chuckles. He said, I'll tell my boss that you're coming down. And I went there, put my application in, came home, phone rings, Richard, come on and start tomorrow morning.
Gerard Dietrich, the magician.
Used to come down to Kitchener occasionally to visit some relatives, and then there was a pool room, and I would go in there because they set a little rack of magic tricks, and I would buy some. So that's kind of how I got started.
Diane Hinchberger, the working mom.
1959, when I started there, I made $24.50 a week. I come right out of school. I only went to grade 11. You know, and when I started there, that was one of the better places to work. If you were a bell operator, you were very well respected.
Albert Faucher, the button man.
And they used to bring the ivory nuts from South America. And when I first came to Kitchener, in my desk, I opened up the drawer, and there was a cockroach this big. Well, I said, what the heck's this? But that's the only one I ever saw there.
Bonnie Bennett, the skate riveter.
I always wanted to work at Bauer because my parents worked in a factory, and I just thought this would be the greatest place to work. It was not far away from home. I was 18 when I first started there. I loved working there.
And Nicholas Reese, the artist.
When we first came to Kitchener-Waterloo, 1961, when I was 12, didn't strike me as a very attractive city, heavily industrial. And I never really wanted or expected to stay here all my life. That was the way it turned out. So I've sketched the machines, I've photographed them, I've done prints based on them. So it did become an inspiration.
Now let's move on to the next stop. Here's how to find directions. On this web page, you will find both audio and text directions simply by scrolling down and looking for walking directions to the next stop. In the Made in Kitchener guidebook, you will find a printed map and directions. Also in the guidebook are latitude and longitude coordinates that you can enter into the mapping program of your smartphone.